Hello there, friends. How's it going? My name is Kelly, for those of you that are new here, and today I would like to share my Louis Vuitton A5 agenda. This is the monogram one, and I got this in the brick and mortar store in 1998 when Louis Vuitton used to be located right by Tiffany's over in Tyson's. And then they years later, they relocated. So in any event, that is where I purchased this all those years ago. So I haven't done a full flip of this planner before because I haven't been set up in this since 2014. So let me show you all the sides. It's a nice planner, and it is still beautiful as it was when I purchased it. There are little minor imperfections here and there from usage. So, but other than that, it's really held its shape. So it's a snap closure. And then I have kept this very neutral because how I am using this is for my Iman planner, which basically means faith. So I've set up all the sections, but I'm going to keep this neutral for the video, and then after I am done filming, then I can set this up for my personal religion. But in any event, I put in some papers from Michael's that I laminated just to add a little deco to it. And this says Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France, right here. In case anybody was interested in that. Okay. And then all I did was I kept all the original. So as you can see, this is very old. So 23 years old, yeah, 23 years old. So this is the original protective sleeve that came with this planner. And then, obviously, I made this, I laminated it. And this is the original map that came in this planner. And I always like to keep this, whenever I use this planner, I like to keep this up front. So, it has that section, and this large section here. Front and back, obviously. So, I just always have loved maps, so I like to keep this on me when I am in this planner. Okay? So in order to protect and preserve this map, I have layered it between two laminated pieces of that same Michael's paper just to keep it protected. So, there you have it. And then I did go ahead and add an inbox, and I've sandwiched it between another piece of the original Grafix Plastic that came with this setup. So these two pieces are all sandwiched together. So this is my inbox, and I just basically took the things off of my inbox section from my 2014 planner because I still had it set up in here, and I just I have a whole routine schedule that I used to do, but I have that covered up for privacy. And then I was using the Martha Stewart teardrops back then, and I would reuse them and put it on my inbox, basically. So, I just added that to here, onto this new inbox. So I can reuse these, because a lot of these are in pencil. And then I just have some flags. Okay, but this is a cloth and paper inbox, pardon me. And then here is a file of facts. All the ones with that are from Filofax, you'll see the little F on there, because the 2014 planner that I was using was made by Filofax. So I just repurposed them, and then I labeled them with what I wanted. This one is actually cracked, and this is from Filofax. So I'm not sure how that happened. But anyway, this is my calendar section for my reading, my supplication, and what's called the Luth, which is basically a form of Arabic calligraphy. And then I added one of those in. So here is the January calendar. I just like this to check points. It's not... I could use it for writing things on here, but I just want to have a reference calendar, basically. So I just made a month on one page for the whole year. Very simple. And I did it, I do believe I used my fountain pen to hand letter this. One of my fountain pens, so... because I set this up, obviously, months ago. And there's lots of, like, this isn't a computerized printout, so this has homemade mistakes on it, and it's not perfectly symmetrical, because certain specific days I wanted to have larger than others, for instance, Monday and Tuesday throughout. So I set it up and tailored it to what I prefer, what my preferences are. So I'm the one using it, right? Okay, and then my next section. So again, I'm not gonna be doing a specific religion for this purpose of this video, but I wanted to make it neutral, so any person of any religion can use this. So whether you are a Muslim or a Catholic or whatever it is that you practice, you can use this setup. So my basic main sections are calendar, lists, your reading, whatever religious book you're reading, and supplication, and then calligraphy. Okay? Calligraphy. Because I like to do that. And then I also have a little currently section on the bottom here, which I will get to, okay? So I just wanted to point that out. So there aren't that many sections, but what is this? Oh, Louise L. Hay quotes. Yeah, I've been doing the Louise L. Hay quotes for years, but anyway, I digress. So that is my calendar section at the beginning, all right? So it's just strictly a calendar, so I can just have a reference while I'm using this planner. And then I have my list section, and I guess I should point out that behind each of the main sections, I've layered it with a laminated piece of cardstock that I love. It's Unicorn Galaxy Glitz paper from Michaels, and I love that paper. I need some more of it. So behind each section, I've layered it with one of those papers, just to keep everything uniform in that way. So this is my lists section, and under each section, well, some of them I have subsections, which I've chosen to do at the top. So I have my brainstorm section, and I have my plan of action section, which are my next steps, and I am going to implement and use the David Allen method in my Iman planner as well. So I just thought I would throw that out there, because in my EDC, my everyday carry, I do use the David Allen method. So it works very well for me, so I thought I would put it in here as well. So brainstorm, plan of action, next steps, perhaps one day, which is your someday maybe, But I like to obviously play with words, so I just call it Perhaps One Day. And then I have my odds and ends here, and in this I just counted my dots of how I wanted each section to be to make my calendar, so just easier. So I left that in there in some paper. And then my next section is for my reading section. And I do that every year, but normally, like the last several years, I've been using a Hobonichi to write that down in, and this time I'm using this A5 planner, so it's on loose leaf. So basically I have the date, the chapter, what the chapter is called, and which verses and which page each verse is on. So that's how I have that set up for every single day. And normally I do the full year, but I've been busy with other things, so I have through February done. And today I'll work on March, setting up March's reading schedule. So I made this currently page, and then I made this wire wrapped charm with rose gold. I like making these. They're super quick to make once you get the hang of it. So this is completely wire wrapped, so it's not going anywhere. So none of the hardware is going to ever fall off of this unless it gets pulled out of here. So this is a very secure piece. So you could use this on a keychain and it wouldn't go anywhere. Because a lot of the jump rings I find when I'm examining things, they're open. They're not closed fully, and so I find that if you just wire wrap your pieces, then you don't have any way of losing them. So that's how I made that. And then I have my supplication section. I call this Dua Al-Yomi. And again, my best friend, she studied linguistics at Georgetown, and she speaks 7 languages fluently. And I love language myself, so anyway, that is Arabic. So this is my Dua Al-Yomi section for my family. So basically, whatever supplications that I want to write down for myself and my family, I put in this section. And I don't share this online. This is what I dub part of my Beside the Bed planner. So I'm just dedicating a full planner this time to my faith. So, and then this is my supplication section for my friends. So whoever I have on my mind, I write in here and make dua for them, essentially, supplication. And then this is my Thuluth section, which is Arabic calligraphy. So I have a whole section set up for that. And then, as I said, I left this all neutral. So, you know, because for some of us, religion is private. So I happen to be one of those people. But again, I did want to show you this setup so you could do it for yourself. Okay, so I've left everything that I'm going to decorate this with and use, you know, let's say you have some cards that you want to put in here that say certain prayers on them, so you could do that. So this is a sleeve file, and this was an original from the Louis Vuitton planner. So as you can see, it's a little yellow, but it hasn't ripped. And then I have another section, and I just still have one business card in here that I left in here from such a long time ago, and I have it covered up for privacy purposes, obviously. But this person is no longer with us, so, but that person was significant to me, so I like to keep that in there to remember him and make supplication for him. So anyway, here's the business card section, and those 3 pieces are all original pieces to the Louis planner. And then this is a new one that I got in 2014 from Filofax. Another Filofax one, so these hold business cards. So 4 on one side, 4 on the other set up. And then these are also original to this planner from 1998 for a checklist. It says date and checklist, basically. And they had these split like that. So that is how I've have them sandwiched in here for protection. Okay, so there are, what, 3 of these? And they're a thicker cardstock. You can see they're yellowing, but whatever. And then I have a Filofax zip pocket. And I'm really excited to get everything set up for me personally. You know. And then this is a Filofax sleeve, which is why I have so many things in here that I can use. Plus, I have a picture of my mom and a poem I keep with her, so I can slip that in here. That's one thing. So I didn't want to have my personal private things like that shown. So, and then another one of those Filofax page lifters, and then 2 more extra pieces. Well, 1 extra piece, and 1 is for the back cover of the laminated paper. And then this is the Filofax. Oh, this I took this out of my Filofax Cuban A5 Chestnut planner, which is in a box somewhere hiding. And then I just have more decorative pieces, and then so I can put other things right here, or sticky notes, or extra stickers, or what have you, which is why I like using the laminated papers too. And that's it. And then there's a pen holder here, so I can add my fountain pen in, and I am ready to go. So I thought it was time to show you guys finally the setup. It's very simple, but it's very functional, and it's very, very minimal, I would say. So that is it. I hope you guys liked it. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you have any questions, you can also let me know. I appreciate you watching. Thank you ever so kindly. And if you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe, comment, and share. And have a beautiful day. Peace out. Bye.